Welcome to Big Hat Reviews. This is my big hat, and I'm the reviewer. Now let's maneuver. So this movie, It Ends, is awesome in my opinion. The reviews, because it came out last year sometime, I don't know when, but the reviews are out there, solid, but I really like this movie. It's one of my 10 favorite movies of the year. When I walked out the theater, I thought about it, and I was like, man, everything about this movie spoke to me as an individual, spoke to me as a thinker, spoke to my hobbies, and like I often find my place on rural roads, and I do have this idea, this fear even, that man, what if this became an infinite loop and I was just living on this road? How freaking scary would that be? And oftentimes I'm on these roads alone. So at least in this movie, our characters that are stuck in an infinite loop on a road have their friends, but I wouldn't have that because male loneliness epidemic. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that, but I'm kidding about my status in it. I have friends that just don't hang out with them because I hate people. Okay, so this movie is about four young adults who become stuck in an infinite loop driving along a never-ending rural road. Whenever the car stops, it's swarmed by a violent horde of people trying to enter the SUV. As time passes, the friends experience a range of emotions as some try to understand their predicament while others submit to it. So it's essentially about four people, some of which are trying to understand why this happened, and even in some cases, more specifically, why it happened to them. And then others, again, they have that initial thought, but they eventually submit to the idea that this is our new reality. It doesn't matter why we're here, how we got here, why it happened to us. What does matter is that while we're here, we must make the most of it and try to sort of normalize the situation, which is completely absurd and insane. The situation is you and your friends are on the road. The road is no longer the road you started on because you can't go back where you came from. Go back where you came from. It's kind of what this hat says about me, isn't it? I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a leftist, okay? I'm on a government list somewhere, probably. Not yet. My ambition is there, though. But you're on a road, and stop, please don't. You're on a road, and you can't go back to where you came from because the road it's different. It's warped. It's changed, and now you are just going and going and going, and there's no end in sight. So essentially, our characters are trying to figure out how to deal with this. And this is an excellent and intelligent psychological, philosophical horror movie about nihilism, monotony, and friendship. It's existential. It's dreadful. It's sad. It's dark. It's funny. This is a dark comedy, and I really appreciate the comedy because the comedy comes from genuine interactions that you would have with your friends, especially if you're Gen Z. Your friends and you have conversations that are like deep and existential normally, but there's like humor baked in there. There's like self-deprecation baked in there. There's contrasting personalities where like, yes, you like your friends because they're different and that complements the friendship, but you can also butt heads. Again, this is true of any generation at this point, but what I'm saying here is that the movie really works on the back of the friendship of the people of the four characters, and it's awesome that they feel so relatable. And I genuinely mean this. I would be friends with all of them for different reasons, and some of them are more complicated than others in terms of the negative traits of their personality, but all of them are realistic, reasonable people that you could see why you would want to be friends with if you were one of these characters, or like I said, even yourself in your own reality, you might want to be friends with them. Okay, so the simple premise is executed with precision, thanks in part to the chemistry and genuine friendship between the group. As I said, each character offers a distinct personality which can complement and contrast with others. This dynamic leads to some hilarious quipping and interesting discussions as the friends try to find a way to process their circumstances. Like our characters, the film is genuinely smart and patient, granting the audience and characters ample space to discover more about this odd world. This film isn't offering answers, it's a film about life which has no answers. That's how I feel. This film is literally about life. Why do you live life? Why do the things that life throws at you happen to you? How do you respond to that? It's really about rumination on one end. It's about acceptance. It's about companionship and bond and understanding each other. It's about saying how you feel to your friends even when it's hard. It's about accepting who your friends choose to be. It's about a lot of different things, some in a more smaller bite way, like, a little chew here, a little chew there, and some in a more like full encompassing meal way, but it's all being addressed here, and I really appreciate that. And the thing I can't understate enough or overstate enough is that, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. The thing I can't stress enough is our characters are smart. Our characters do things that you think they should do. Why wouldn't you guys like, oh, you did do that. Don't turn the car. Oh, you don't want to turn the car off. Okay, now you're thinking. Why? Oh, you're documenting the changes you notice. There are subtle changes happening as you go along this road. You're documenting them. You're trying to figure out who these people are that are chasing you. You're trying to figure out if you can talk to them. You're trying to do everything that you would think of here. And I really appreciate that. It even goes as far to them learning that there are 90-second intervals where these hordes of people wait before attacking the car. Everything here is so precise. The character also mentions that he's exercising in those 90-minute intervals, doing push-ups, getting stronger, but he's maxing out he's doing push-ups to get stronger, but he's maxing out at the same number every time, showing he's not like developing physically. They're not feeling hunger. They're not feeling sexual drives. They're not feeling the things that make us human. But other things are happening normally, like a character who is wounded. His wound is healing normally. It's just a lot of things are happening here. Again, the movie doesn't answer why some things happen, why others don't, but neither does life, and I really appreciate that. And here are the characters real quick, because they do deserve like some recognition for how distinct they are. Tyler, who is our first driver, he's an HVAC technician, has a DUI in his past. He's a very stubborn character, but very sure of himself in a very like realistic way. Like seems like a country boy. And like he knows what he's done and he knows what he didn't do, and he's very sure about something in the movie, and it turns out to be correct. And I appreciate how like he really rests on his laurels there, and it's because he has a good sense about himself. Despite his mistake in the past, he has a sense about himself. Speaking of sense, James is a very analytical character. He's another friend. He's probably the friend that experiences the most conflict with the other characters, because he's analytical and trying to figure out why is this happening? What shifted here? Something changed on this road. Did it change because we did something different? Did it change because it changed? Tell me why. Let me figure that out. He's writing notes down, trying to figure out every little detail of this world. He reminds me of myself to a degree. Another character that reminds me of myself in a different part of my personality is Fish. Fish is an anxious, unsettled individual. He has panic attacks. I don't have those, but he has panic attacks. And he also finds himself, like, again, very jittery and unsure about, like, if he can carry on, how he can carry on. He's freaking out more than anybody else in the car. And then we have, really, at the core, we have this, like, wonderful character named Day. She's a young black woman, and she is, like, the most grounded. She is the most emotionally mature. She's trying to bring people together. She's trying to accept the reality in a sensible way while also trying to figure out, what they can do about it. But she's the most evolved character here, I think. And it's fun. It's fun how they interact. It's fun how they banter. Everything about this is great. I could see you have issues with it if you are a person who needs answers from a movie. Like, why does this happen? Explain this to me. Explain the ending. All these things. Yeah, sure. But, like, I think if you just think about life a lot, if you are in your head ruminating a lot, taking things personally, not taking things personally, I think you can find joy in how well this movie reflects life and how we perceive it and think about it. And again, as somebody who, I drive on the road a lot, I'm an outdoorsy person. One of my fears is genuinely getting caught in an infinite loop, which I don't believe in, but like an infinite loop on a rural highway when I'm by myself. Like, and this is what this movie is. You just add friends to it. And I got to get some of those. Kidding. But you also have another fear I have, which is, like, why do things happen to me? Not much happens to me, but when they do, why does it happen to me? Why does it happen to them? I don't want things to happen to them either. Why does it happen to them? All this stuff is in here. I love this movie. It's 10 out of 10. It's one of my 10 favorite movies of the year. It might inch up, might go down a little bit, but this is an excellent movie. 90 minutes, super clean, limited cast, 4 characters, all of them great. A couple, people, you see some faces, but they're not characters, just ancillary items to aid the horror along. But this is not a gruesome movie. This is not a gory movie. This is a movie about your mind. Take that hat off your mind and think about things deeper and go watch this movie. 10 out of 10.